Alright. Welcome to the preamble, people. We are just gathering links and having drinks, which is as it rhymes. If you're here already, congrats. We'll be starting talking soon enough, but there might be some long silences as I sip my drink. If this is AMSRing you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm saying it wrong as well, but I intentionally started saying it wrong and now I can't say it right, because that's just the kind of person I am. We like Doctor Who. We like Doctor Who so much we've dedicated an evening of our lives to chatting away. Many evenings. 9 evenings, I want to say now. I don't know why I'm whispering still. We're going to actually record it on a better phone as well.
Three, two, one. Welcome to Doctor Who podcast.
Yay!
Episode 9, 10. In
It's
fact,
10. This is our 10th anniversary.
This is the 9th episode, but we already did an episode 0.
That episode 0 was pretty good.
It was a pretty good episode.
Might be my
We
favourite
had,
episode thus far. Although that one of the spiders was pretty good because we had Andrew Marr on.
We did have. We apologise for not having guests.
I tried to get Andrew Marr back tonight, but he was on when I called him or when I messaged him. He was on a train and he was very hungry.
Yeah,
so
that'll happen.
He just gave us 3 listener questions and left it at that, which I think was more than enough.
That's adequate.
I think we'll get guests back for the aftermath.
Finale.
Well, I don't know if we'll get it for the finale.
That's actually soon, because that's in like 2 days.
That's 2 days, yeah. On Sunday. What day is this? Thursday. Thursday, aye.
Sorry for the schedule slipping.
I don't mind. I think it makes it more authentic. Like, it doesn't make it, algorithmable, but it makes it authentic. I think we'll get guests for the aftermath, because we said we were going to do like an autopsy episode.
Yeah.
An autopsy episode. So, like, we'll do this episode, we'll do next week's episode, whenever that may be. Like, if the finale is incredible, it'll be soonish. And if the finale is just another one of these episodes, you'll probably hear from us at some point.
This is maybe why this is a bad idea. Like, look at the background of this studio. Where there's just some guy.
Well, we should say we're also watching snooker whilst we do this. Barry Hawkins, Russell, Kieran Wilson, is that what that said? Corinne?
I believe so, Karen.
Dyspraxia strikes again. Well, see, here's a question about snooker, right? Oh, hello, Ewan. Buckle in for Doctor Who and snooker banter. See, with snooker, why can't it be women's versus men's? Like I know, like, for some reason in other sports that can't be the case. But in snooker,
you're right.
Surely, like,
there's absolutely no reason whatsoever.
I know
it's just sexism.
It's sexism, and like that's not their market. Their market is people that watch ITV4 and China. But like, surely they want the other half of the world watching this as well.
Like Formula 1 as well. Like, there's no reason why.
Yeah, that's a shame.
There has been women Formula 1 drivers in the past.
Isn't there, like, famously, like, women NASCAR drivers?
There is. There's also women IndyCar drivers.
Yeah.
Like, there's just,
why not F1?
Just because, like, I don't, like, well, it's a whole various, like,
structural
sexism. The fact there's not, like, a lot of, like, women, like, because it's, like, very expensive. Like, structural sexism, basically.
That's shocking. I'd like to see it, because, like...
They're trying to remedy it, because they're going to be doing, like, a single series for women only.
Okay. That's not the same thing as...
I know,
like,
but they're trying to make it so here's, like,
No, I suppose at least they're trying.
They are... Well, they're not really trying.
No.
But
I feel like snooker's one of those things where they could just be lads about it and be like, aye, this is happening. Like, it's fine. We're here for the viewing figures.
I totally agree. There's absolutely no reason why not.
Oh, anyway, Doctor Who,
Doctor Who,
which is definitely what this podcast is about. We have news, don't we? There's news this week. Or was it last week? Did the scarf picture come out this week or last?
I think it came out sort of vaguely in between. Like, it's hard to put a date on it.
It's hard to put a date. Yeah, it's hard to put a date on it other than we can totally map out when that image dropped. The Doctor has a scarf.
Yes.
It's like a multicolored rainbow scarf.
It's almost like it was meant to be a Christmas episode.
Yeah. That's the thing, because they're not doing a Christmas episode this year. They're doing a New Year's episode, which I think is cowardly. I'll say that. We've been over it. It's a cowardly move. But at the same time, who actually cares?
No one.
I feel like most people are so bitter towards
You
the
know
Christmas
who's
episodes.
getting Doctor Who's slot on Christmas, or like who's taking up like a 3 hour?
No, I saw that they
It's
dropped.
Michael McIntyre. Michael McIntyre's got a hot like 6:30 p.m. slot.
Is it new Michael McIntyre content, or
I guess. I'd hope
you'd
so.
like to hope so? But I have laughed at Michael McIntyre. I have been.
It reminds me of like well, it's
I've been-
because Brexit's happening, so we need
Yes.
to get back to like 1970s light entertainment because that's all that we're gonna be. That's all the only TV we're gonna be getting.
Beans and light entertainment. I don't have any like ill will towards Michael McIntyre, but I suppose I haven't watched him since 2007-ish.
I remember him when he was on Mock the Week.
Aye, Mock the Week. He was on
He
Mock
was
the Week
very
for
funny
like
on that.
for like
hot minute.
a hot minute before he got his own
Yeah,
stuff,
okay.
and he's weird looking. He's got a weird smiley face, and I've not really thought about him since 2007. Like that's what's taken up Doctor Who's slot. You're saying,
Not exactly,
but
like
basically,
that's something that wasn't on Christmas Day at that time last
right.
year and is going to be on.
okay.
Because other than that, Lineup is exactly the same.
Well, I hear the Good Dinosaurs on.
Yeah,
I've not seen
that's
that
like
Pixar
the
film.
afternoon. No, I hear it's a disappointment.
Yeah, well, Pixar's pretty much a fallen creator at this
I
point.
think
They put out Incredibles 2, and it didn't really. It's not set the world on fire, has it?
No, well,
If it's not setting the world on fire, David, it's a failure. If everyone's not talking about it every second of every day, it basically doesn't exist.
Okay.
Um,
I don't think there's been any other Doctor Who news.
there's, well, yes, because there's pictures of her wearing a scarf.
Pictures are wearing a scarf. All the cast are there, which
That
may
says-
not mean anything.
Yeah,
but
like I think that
because
says a
of
lot.
Chibnall, I think it's just gonna be like there's gonna be a finale, and then it'll be like
Fine, yeah.
not to well, not to spoil it, but like one of the things that I thought was gonna happen in the finale happened in this episode. You
Oh,
can probably guess what it was.
yeah, well, we should say spoilers for this episode and every other episode thus far,
Yeah.
and also probable spoilers for next week and the New Year special.
Yeah.
Because
Scar.
the scarf, it looks like a good scarf. Someone on Twitter made a good joke about how like normal news outlets will be like, oh, it's like a Tom Baker reference, even though the scarf doesn't resemble it in length,
No.
colour, texture, or material. It's just a scarf.
It's just a scar.
And
And
like,
it's like a winter episode.
yeah,
so it's-
like it's also like kind of like a LGBT kind of thing. I don't know if you go as far as say that, but it is like a rainbow scarf.
Does it not kind of like match the color over like her braces?
Probably. Like, doesn't she have like a colourful stripe?
Aye, she's
Like,
got like a colourful stripe on her braces.
it's hard to tell the way the show's shot because it never really frames the Doctor that long. Like, there's never been like any like one big heroic shot of the Doctor, which I feel like we got a lot of in Matt Smith's era.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Matt Smith standing around giving speeches and whatnot. But like we say in this series, and there's a lot of the Doctor being confused quite a lot of the time. I feel like it's like filmed from above. She's always like filmed from above and confused and moving about. Like that's it's neither here nor there. But the key thing, other than the scarf, although that is what we'll just keep talking about, is that all of the other companions are in those foes that they dropped.
Yeah, which
Which-
suggests that nothing's gonna, or maybe it will.
It suggests that like nothing
I mean, if it was
physical.
if it was a Moffat episode, like you just say, oh, like that means nothing. Like they could die instead of being there.
Well, like because like Bill was in the Christmas special, even though she died and
Yeah.
left, and the Bill that was in that episode wasn't Bill. It was like an AI reconstruction of Bill.
Yeah.
We'll not get into that, but like basically there was shenanigans. So you could see these pictures and say it doesn't matter because there'll be shenanigans. It's a time travel show, so it could mean anything. But the way the season's been going thus far, those images just fill us with kind of the feeling that nothing will happen.
Yeah,
Like it'll just be so because it's not like a big episode. It's not like a multi-part Doctor Who thing because there's only one episode left.
there's only one. Episode, like, okay, it's not even okay. Right.
Yeah,
I need
go.
to have a rant about this.
Rant, go.
Because, like, I get that they're trying to do individual episodes, right?
Yep, I kind of like it.
But they have hinted at an overarching plot. They've done it
Kind
once.
of. They did it twice. They did it retroactively twice because the one time they hinted at it mentioned the enemy in the episode before it.
Yeah.
They front stacked all of the plot with like the Stenza people, which you would have thought when you watched the first episode that's just a one-off thing, but then episode 2 makes it seem like it's not a one-off
Nope,
thing.
very much not.
And then every episode thus far hasn't mentioned them at all.
At all. And I was hopefully thinking like, oh, it's like the episode before the finale. We're gonna get like a cliffhanger that leads into the finale
Mhm.
with at least a hint of what it's gonna be. Absolutely nothing.
No,
It's yet another zero TARDIS episode. That's 2 in a row.
Oh.
You see it from outside, but no TARDIS
See,
interior.
I think
For
if you
2
see it
weeks
from
in a row.
outside, you have to count it.
I know,
like,
but
the
they don't
wiki
seem to-
won't allow
they don't-
that.
They don't seem to know what to do with the TARDIS interior.
Aye, like the TARDIS. I think that's okay because like I know the TARDIS is part of the vibe. You're cutting about, you're in your fun travel machine. But if you are dedicating more time to cutting about in the actual episode, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Most of the time they gained from not cutting about in the TARDIS was just spent in this episode talking about fjords,
Yeah.
which fair play.
When the episode began and Graham was like, "That's a nice fjord," I was like, "Or an inlet."
Or an inlet, yeah. Night boat, the crime-solving boat. Aye. Before we get into the episode, the fact that those characters appear in the promo shots is quite disheartening. And this,
Did they really have to, like, literally? I've got like 3 weeks. Like, why do you have to put the promo shots out?
I think it's because it's more of a kids show, and it's like, here's all your pals, here's all your favourites, like Bradley Walsh and other characters. Did they actually? Because I didn't actually see them. I saw the scarf picture, and then you were saying that they were in them, and I didn't actually.
I'm sure I saw one with all of the four of them.
I could say that I did.
Sure I did.
But like it's so forgettable because all the stuff they put out, I think the marketing has been shockingly bad for this season. Like
I felt like it was good before it, but I feel like while it's been going on, there's
Well,
been, like no like.
the fact that they don't do longer episode trailers at the end of trailers is really hurting it because they showed the trailer for next week on Sunday there. It was not even 10 seconds of like stuff. I feel like the Doctor was like, I recognise that voice, but I don't know if that was from the main trailer because they released the actual trailer after the episode. And like again, if it's to give the episode more runtime, fair play, that's a noble cause. But I feel like it's hurting their. We'll come back next week and see what's going on. And then I feel like I've not seen any trailers. Like I don't watch TV, I guess. So I guess that's why I'm not seeing trailers. But I don't see it on like videos. Like you think they would like be, you know.
I feel like they don't even do as much stuff on their Facebook page anymore.
I feel like at the start of the season, like Chibnall and that were going about answering questions, and maybe they are, and we're just not seeking them out. But why do we have to seek the advertisement out? How are you being bound at advertising this thing at us? We say as potentially a Doctor Who trailer is playing in the background. I think it's Luther actually. Yeah, it's Luther. Idris Elba should be the Doctor at some point.
Should.
Like 100%.
Is this a new Luther?
I think this is a new Luther. I've never actually seen Luther. I just enjoy the fact that Idris Elba's
Because I enjoy the fact that Idris Elba's like a massive movie star.
Yeah.
Massive star.
You say, well,
and he still makes time to do like BBC dramas.
Well, I think he's out there. What I saw of Idris Elba is that he's producing stuff that he's like directing or like getting sitcoms and stuff made where he's like the creative force. I think he's been out there in Hollywood doing Thor films just to make and like I assume, yeah. Was this a Dorito? I'm gonna come in here unsolicited. Oh wow.
I mean, I brought them over. They're clearly solicited.
They're clearly solicited, but you know. Doctor Who is in a weird place.
Is it a good place?
It's a good place,
New
but
series of Luther? Wow.
New Year's Day as well, back to back with Doctor Who potentially. Is this an ad for Doctor Who? It could be. It looks like it's the past.
Luther will rate higher than Doctor Who. I'm betting on it.
Well, your dad's watching Luther. Like, your dad's watching Doctor Who, but he's not
lost
really.
interest in Doctor Who like 6 weeks ago.
Oh, aye. Like when I had a thought, right, and we'll talk about this before we talk about other things, because after this episode, it kind of felt like Bradley Walsh was getting the lion's share of the emotional weight and the good bants. Do you think that Chibnall wrote like a middle-aged man doc and then had to scrap that, but then like kept all the lines of dialogue and then kind of just edited them for the Bradley Walsh character?
I don't think so. I think y'all intended that woman not. You BBC tried it.
Aye,
They
didn't
did controversially get rid of the 90s one.
They did, which is oh wow, is that MasterChef or?
I think it's MasterChef the Professionals, which I don't really watch
Hmm.
because it's not as good.
Not that big into cooking shows unless it's like anime cooking.
This one does have Wallace in it though.
Hmm. Hmm. Buttery biscuit base Wallace.
Marty Biscuit based Wallace.
Interesting. We should get into the episode. It Takes You
It
Away.
Takes You Away by Ed Heim.
Ed Heim, who potentially doesn't exist.
He doesn't have a wiki article.
Doesn't have a wiki, so
He could be
therefore...
some hot new up and coming writer.
It could be.
Probably.
What if he's like a pseudonym for like Chibnall?
This episode
Pseudonym.
showed great promise.
It
Like,
did.
I think of all the episodes, this was the most like original.
Hmm.
Like it had like a good look to it. Like it had ideas.
It didn't, because at some points it looked very cheap. In a way that I'm super behind, but in a way that I feel there was like...
That fjord looked great.
That fjord did look good. There's a lot of stuff in this episode that I personally loved, but I think will be used much... You know how the Candyman in like Sylvester McCoy suit? You know how the Candyman's incredible and we love him and we wish he came back, but is kind of used to beat the end of the classic Who over the head. I feel a certain thing that happened in this episode that we'll get to will be used in the same vein as the Candyman. You'll see your anti-Wom videos out there on YouTube. You're like Jodie Whittaker has ruined Doctor Who, and the thumbnail will be that frog. And like, I liked that frog. That frog was the best part of this season so far. But I don't think the production values on that frog were up to scratch, really. It was of a low quality in a way that I love and will cherish forever. But I don't think your average viewer will be like,
I think it's
remember that big frog?
That's part of what I mean about how this episode had ideas. Like none of the other writers.
Oh, aye, you're right about that. Because we've been talking about how it doesn't have ideas. You've been saying that a lot. This thing that doesn't have ideas. This episode kind of had too many ideas.
Yeah, you're right. It did have a lot going on.
It
didn't flesh out. Anyways, we get into the episode. So they rock up to Norway.
Yep.
They're like, it's the present day, which I liked. Like
2018.
Present day Doctor episodes are great.
They did a good bant about sheep and the sheep rebellion of 22, 20, whatever. I thought, see, the setup of it being like a Norwegian Scandi drama. I think that's a bit pandery, but like it's a bit pandery to like 5 years ago though. Like I feel like it's not very timely. Like if Moffat had done one of these episodes, I would have understood. But like, it feels like they had the idea for this, and now they can do it. But like, who cares?
I get you. They see a log cabin in the distance. Oh, we better go over there.
They go over there because like it's a log cabin, but it's winter, but there's not any smoke.
Yeah.
It's like maybe there's no one in. Like maybe
I remember them being like, "Oh, where are we? It's 2018. Just use your mobile phone.
Yeah.
And go to Google Maps."
Well,
like,
they were kind of
I guess it's actually rural Norway.
There's probably no signal, and then there was jokes at the end about like we'll go back into the city and we'll have Wi-Fi, and there was jokes about that where it's like
Oslo,
where you like if you wanted to keep someone inside, why didn't you just get Wi-Fi in that? So mixed messages. I can't really.
Cabin. There's a blind girl called Hannah.
The blind girl, right?
Hannah?
Hannah? It took a while for the doctor to realise she was blind. And like, while this was happening, I was like, the doctor should tell this blind girl about the time that they were blind. Because the doctor was blind in Capaldi's House.
Yeah.
And then he got better. Like, that's a fact that happened. Like, how do you bridge that subject with someone that's blind?
Why she didn't bring it up.
I know, but like, it's a fact. Like, how do you, like...
You can't say, I was blind.
How do you, like... See if she, like, befriended that girl and that girl became a companion. How do they talk about that? Because, like, you can't just not talk about that. You can't just, like, forever go through, like, not mentioning the fact
that... The doctor doesn't want to talk about a lot of things.
I know, but, like, how does that happen? Like, how horrible would that be? How horrible is that? The doctor was blind and got better. And could just repeat the process for that blind girl, but probably wouldn't because she's blind in real life or whatever. So, like... It's such a weird, like, fiction meshing up against real life kind of thing. Kind of in the same way with the Rosa Parks thing. With, like, the racism. You can't really tackle that racism because it's a real thing. But at the same time, the Doctor tackles fake racism all of the time.
But yeah, this girl, her dad disappeared.
Her dad was weird.
There's noises coming from the woods.
Bestial noises.
Beasts.
I feel
like it's kind of a spooky cabin. Like, there's all sorts of, like, wood barricades outside.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, my dad's
gone to the store to buy smokes. Was basically what I took from it while I was watching. When I was attentively, like, watching the episode. And
so we're looking at the cabin and they find a mirror.
They do find a mirror. It was a spooky mirror, wasn't it? Like, it was like Graham. Like, the more I watch the show, the more I can call him Graham and not just Bradley Walsh. Yeah. Graham, like, was drawn to it. It was like a siren mirror. Or what is it?
Yeah.
This is me trying to remember what happened because it's been like 5 to 6 days. And then almost went into it because it was like a portal mirror. That was the... See, that's where the episode kind of started to get too many things, which I know it's at the start of it, but it already had like a beast in the woods and like a missing dad, and then they're like a mirror, and I was like, okay, how is the beast, the mirror, and the dad all tied together? But then like they went through the mirror.
They went through the mirror. The portal.
The doctor didn't want to take the blind girl because she was blind, I guess. Is that what happened? She wrote on the wall, which I thought was very rude. I thought
They
it was
wrote on the wall to say, like, she was all like, oh, here's like a plan of the...
Here's like where the house is strongest.
Strongest points, but she had actually written, like, the dad's almost definitely
dead. Like, just, you know, like, I thought that was really patronising, like, really horrible of the doc. Just, like, and like, the girl, like, worked out immediately, because she was like, you know, like, she wasn't drawn. Yeah, it was like the sound of you writing. Like, I thought the doctor was really off when it came to, like, interacting with the blind girl.
I felt a bit, like, sort of dark doctor-ish, like...
Yeah, but not meaning to be, it just came off as...
Capaldi.
Yeah. Capaldi would definitely do that intentionally, and that would be the point the episode was making. This, it just kind of happened and was a weird tonal thing.
Yeah, they left Ryan behind.
Yeah, that was great, because they're like, don't worry, Ryan will stay with you, and the blind girl's like, bloody, like...
Ryan.
Not Ryan.
Famously terrible, like, because he had already patronised her.
Like, does she just not want, like, the blind and the dyspraxic to go on away missions with her? Is that what we're, like, taking out? Like, Ryan can stay, because he'll only cause us trouble wherever we're going. I thought all the stuff in the house was quite atmospheric and quite spooky, but didn't really pay off into anything. Like, I guess that was where the point goes to, because at some point in the episode, Ryan investigates the beast at some point?
Yeah, we should talk about it, because we didn't see that at first. What we actually see is a weird in-between world.
Oh yeah,
it's just like a weird cave, and then like a weird alien called Ribbons.
Ribbons, played by that guy from Those Things.
And then those weird moths.
I love the moths. See, the whole stuff, and it was called...
There was no light, and then there was like a weird balloon.
There was no light, but it was very much there was light.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't need a balloon light. It was like, what? Like, they found a balloon light at one point, and like, how did you find it if it's pitch black and you need a balloon? Like, it was clearly like, we're saying that it's pitch black, but we have to show you what's happening. Like,
this guy was like, there was like a weird, the doctor described it as like a weird in-between world where like...
An anti-zone.
An anti-zone where there's just weird shenanigans going on.
Like, where, like, it forms around a place in the universe where, like, time is threatened or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're gonna get some Reapers maybe? We've been talking about Reapers all season. This would be the perfect place for Reapers to happen. But no, it's just a very, very poor papier-mâché cave. That you might
it is
see,
like very astonishingly cheap.
you might have seen it on later high quality seasons of Red Dwarf. You might have seen that superb use of paper mache and like nice, cute, fuzzy, flesh-eating moths.
But yeah, Ribbons wanted the Doctor's Sonic, and she gave
Tubular. Did she? Or like she was going to, and then no, she was going to, and then they did a bit of bartering, and then she was going to show her where the dad went because he said that you'd seen the dad or whatever. And like Ribbons was so not like a part of the plot. Like he was, but like when they get to what the actual episode is, Ribbons didn't matter at all.
No, he was just
and like
hanging out.
he was just hanging out in the anti-zone. And at like one point the doctor was like, "How did you get in the anti-zone, Ribbons?" And he's like, "Oh, Ribbons has always been here." It's like, "Okay, Ribbons, that's good."
Ribbons felt a bit like a Dark Souls character. Like,
Yeah.
Just like, why is he being deliberately obtuse and weird? Like, why is this person here?
He reminded me quite a lot of a Babylon 5 episode where they meet a very similar masked, wrinkly-faced alien guy who makes like no sense in the context of the episode, but is actually part of a larger plot where there's time travel and you see it from the other side, and he makes entirely a lot of sense 2 seasons later. But like in this episode, Ribbons was I know. And like they had the same kind of mannerisms as well. It was weird. He felt really like a Babylon 5 character. But like, this is just some guy, and he had like balloons. How did he make the balloons in the anti-zone? And he had like rats, like 6-legged rats, because Graham was all like, he's got a belt full of 6-legged rats, so we're really going to trust him. Did the rats get into the anti-zone? Is there like an ecosystem in the anti-zone?
Yeah,
like,
then like they're walking through and like the moths attack him.
The moths. See, like, the whole... That part of the episode really felt like, what's it called? The Web Planet? You know the one, the
Yeah.
Hartnell one with, it's like a paper mache moonscape, and there's
Yeah.
just like people dressed as spiders. Felt a lot like that. Like it had the same kind of pantomime kind of vibes, especially when they were walking about with a big red
It
balloon.
felt very like an old Who episode, that bit.
Like that they've just inserted into this like Black
Yeah.
Mirror, like fjords
Yeah.
kind of high photography values kind of. Yeah, I liked that. I really liked it, but I don't think it'll do well for this show. I don't think that should really matter. It's whatever you like. But like, see when you're watching something, and you're like, this is great, but also, oh my god, how are people going to react to this? And the episode only went more down that road as we got through it. Those flesh-eating moths, I thought looked pretty cool. Like the kind of, again, they might have been made of literal paper mache. They ate ribbons alive.
They ate ribbons alive.
Because you're not allowed to make sound in the anti-zone.
Ribbons got wrecked.
He got wrecked kind of off screen. Like, you got eaten alive off screen, but then there was like a shot, which I thought was pretty cool afterwards, of like a moth, a fluffy moth, poking through his like skull holes.
It was rough.
It was pretty brutal for Chibber too.
Then they run away, and then they find a mirror, and they're like, oh, this will take us back.
Yeah, I was like, they just, because like, Ribbons had this whole gambit where like he took them into the anti-zone so he could negotiate with them better. Like that was a part of the episode where it was like, oh no, because like the doctor had put her like part of her jacket or something as like a string, so that an umbilical cord to get back. And Ribbons stealth 100 cut that ribbon without any of them noting. Ribbons cut that ribbon. Ribbons cut that cord without any of them noticing, and then it was like, no, we're going to negotiate now where you can't get back to your friends because you're in the middle of the anti-zone and I want your tubular. And then he died because he tried to grab the Sonic and ran away and the moth swarmed him. And then everyone's fine, which I thought was a bit cheap. Because they just left Ribbons to die. It was like an Outrun a Lion thing. It's like, no, Ribbons is getting eaten alive. We'll just go out here. And then, see, when they went to get to that other side of the mirror, I assumed it was the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, did they just escape?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And then they realised, this isn't the Serena, we're not in the same place.
We're not in the same place or time. And I was like, okay, this is getting really interesting. It might be one or even 6 ideas too many now. But it was getting cool. And I feel like the mirror was the proper mirror universe as well.
Yeah.
They met the dad and he had like a Slayer top on that was mirrored, which I thought was quite a nice wee touch. And I don't know if all the furniture was mirrored as well, or if it was just like out of place because it was a different time.
Yeah, nice.
And I thought like they met the dad, and the dad was just making dinner. And the dad I thought was quite horrible-ish.
Yeah, it wasn't the nicest dude.
Because obviously he had troubles, and like the whole plot of the episode was that his wife had died at some point. I think.
Yeah.
I think his wife had died.
Yeah, she died.
And this mirror universe had created another one, and that was like a mystery for a while. Like for a bit of the episode, have you lost a bit of Lego?
I've lost a bit of Lego.
Okay,
Why
you look for the Lego while I talk. For a bit of the episode, I guess, but like it's hard to think how long this went on for. A bit like there was a little bit of mystery of how is his wife alive in this mirror universe and what does it mean?
Oh, this isn't good for me.
Oh no.
Sofa. Oh no.
We'll keep going and we'll see.
No, forget about it. It's the thing.
Alright, I'll keep talking.
This is a disaster. Eh?
We've lost a singular piece of Lego, so bear with us.
Where to put the thing?
What thing? Have you lost more of the Lego?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. Why? Didn't fiddle about when you're
Didn't fiddle on your Lego, and I'm going to have another Dorito while you...
Can you lift up the sofa?
Let me see if I can... Oh, no, it's very heavy. There you go. Is it that piece there? Or is that...
The orange bit?
Is it, see that thing there in the middle?
I see it right. Okay.
This is some hot content. I'm holding the sofa. Right. Bear with us, viewer. Dear viewer. I heard some Lego moving.
Got it.
Yes. Right.
Here, put it back in there.
There we go.
There we go.
So, this universe, this mirror universe, had generated a wife from, and his whole thing was that he was living in this mirror house with his mirror wife.
Yep.
And why didn't he go back and was it too dangerous to bring his blind daughter to the house?
I think so. Yeah.
Because of the moths. But like he got through fine, and like I don't get it. And like the whole thing was that you can't talk in the anti-zone or the moths will get you. She's blind. It's not like she's like very loud or anything. You could carry her, or like you could do something. felt really weird to me that he didn't bring his...
And then we find out on the other side where Ryan and Hannah are
Mhm.
that the noises was actually this when the noises were just coming, like the dad had generated the noises to make her too scared to go out.
Yes. The dad had put a speaker in the garden, which is literally a plot from a Father Ted episode.
And then Hannah knocked Ryan out.
Hannah knocked Ryan out, which I laughed at for quite a bit. You should just like hit him with a door,
Yeah.
which is not a great showing because she's blind and Ryan just went down. And then she got into the mirror because maybe just take her with you at the start.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be fine. Like, you don't have to create all this drama where it's like, oh no, she's blind, we can't take her on our, like, fun Doctor Who adventures that we have.
But yeah, so the mum's there. He's like, it's fine. And then the dad's all like, oh, she's here. Like, this is
I
great.
quite liked
I
the...
really like the mirror. Like, if people are dead but alive.
They're dead but alive and they know it as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, I died, but, you know, it's fine.
It's
I don't know
fine.
what's going on, but...
I'm here. Like, look, I'm here. Like,
I'm
I've
definitely
got my
here.
arms. You
The...
can touch me.
There was a great bit about bear traps as well, where they were like they found some bear traps and it was kind of like a sinister thing. It's like, oh, why is there bear traps here? And they confront the dad about that in their universe. Like, why have you got bear traps? And the dad's like, because there's bears. Like, you know,
I forget the dad's name. Was it like Har?
something.
There's a super
Scandi drama man.
Scandi drama name.
He was like very well
He was
dressed.
a lame dad. Like he was not a great dad.
No, but like at the same time, you know, depression or whatever. His
Aye.
wife had died. Like he came off terribly, but at the same time.
The mum
His
and
wife died and a Doctor Who plot happened. What are you
The
gonna
mum
do?
and the daughter were wearing like Arctic monkeys. Oh, I love that! I love that! Like we're from Sheffield.
Yeah,
Yaz.
oh.
First mention of Yaz this episode. By
Oh
the way.
yeah, Yaz. Not a great Yaz episode. I feel like she was better towards to Hannah. Like
Yeah. She was good to work. Yeah, she was. But yeah, like Yaz was like, my was it her brother or my cousin went to see the first Arctic monkeys gig.
I winced. Like I'd forgotten about that until you just said
It's
that. But
like,
like,
we're
I
from
was like,
Sheffield.
"Ugh,
I'm
we're from Sheffield. Oh god, it's not great, is it?
It's fine. But yeah, the dad's there. And then like Graham's walking about.
Graham's cutting about. Graham, who's been having incredible banter this
Yeah.
entire episode. Like
That's all he does. He's a lad.
he had a whole sandwich bit. Was that this
Oh
episode?
yeah, it was. He just like there was a whole thing about how he just brings sandwiches with him.
Is it low blood
He
sugar?
said
Was
his
it?
like blood sugar went a little bit low.
Yeah.
So he's like, we don't know what we're gonna eat. So I started
That
bringing
was one of the
sandwiches.
things where I was like, maybe he did write for like a middle-aged doctor. That feels like a repurposed middle-aged
I
doctor
don't
line.
think it though.
It reads like it to me anyway. The that like I could say, Bradley Walsh has been getting the lion's share of the bants and the
Yeah,
emotional
yeah.
weight because that was the thing this episode. If you want to talk about it, because like this is something we've been waiting for
Well,
all season.
okay. Before I talk about, did the Doctor like discover what this universe was before this thing happened?
Oh,
Like,
I can't remember. Was it at the same
There's
time?
al-
Because they
there's-
split up.
Yeah, because was she telling about how like my
Granny Five.
my granny five told me the story about this like universe that's like it doesn't make sense. I
Yeah.
forget the name of it. I should have taken
Oh
notes.
yeah, I can't remember, but it was like a something. It was a great like Doctor Who
it was like
science.
It's like a universe that like
Oh
is confused and like
yeah, there was. I thought it was again right. This is where the episode for me got into kind of. It was about toxic relationships because like the universe it described was like a universe. Like at the start of the universe, there was like a force or like a universe itself that was sentient but couldn't be with the rest of the matter in the universe because it like messed it up.
yeah.
And I was like, okay. And the more the Doctor talked about that, it felt like this was like the toxic relationship episode because you know every episode's been doing a kind of socially kind of conscious kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I felt really bad for the universe because like the ancient Gallifreyan nursery or whatever described like this universe that just wanted to hang with people and have a good time, but its very nature meant that nothing could happen or exist.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I was like, that's really sad.
yeah.
And like, I guess we talk about it a lot. Like the plot of this episode is that universe is real.
But like that's how they like in order to attract people to this universe, it made like dead people alive.
Yeah, it was like an anglerfish
Yeah.
type thing where it was it had the mirror and it was like hooking people in with like a
Yeah.
siren call and then keeping them there with
Their loved ones.
their loved ones.
Because
And
it just wanted to hang with people.
it just wanted to hang and like have a good
They
time.
wanted to see the world.
It did. Like That was the I like that. That's a good
Yeah.
plot. That's more ideas than this season has had.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. It's a good, it's a solid idea.
Yeah. And I thought it executed on it pretty well, actually. I can't really fault a lot of it. But, just the kind of whole tone of, describing what it was like, okay, so you're making a thing about toxic relationships, but also the thing you're making it about is quite a sympathetic thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they were actually trying to make it about it, but that's what it came across as to me, anyway.
But yeah, and then did Hannah and Ryan make it through to the...
Yeah, again, they just went through, and,
They went through and they were fine.
we didn't go through because they were just talking, because they didn't know... Ribbons was dead by this point, so you couldn't tell them that noise attracts. Because, I feel like Ryan just found a second balloon.
Yeah.
It might have been the first one, but he found a balloon off screen, or picked it up from off screen. He was like, look, there's a balloon. Again, I'm terrible with the accent. And then, that's more like a Blue Peter presenter.
There's a balloon.
There's a balloon. And, I'll get that one day. And then... they were just talking, and I feel like, was he talking about his dad again? He was talking about something very Ryan-y, and then they got attacked by moths, but they kind of just hid off site. They went into an alcove and it was fine.
Very old Who.
Very old Who, very we've done this threat. You don't need to see it again, even though we had to put the same characters through the same thing.
Yeah, they get through, and it's like, Dad, that's not my. And then
she was very good about it. She was like, "That's not my dad."
she saw right through it. And then,
ironically enough,
we're in the garden, and then there's washing, and then how did they introduce the is it the wife that introduces the concept that oh, you might want to look like, and then
there's someone, your friends are in the garden.
Friends are in the
I thought you got here at the same time as your friends.
Yeah, and then do you hear the laugh? Or
I can't remember. It was good, but
it turns out to be Grace.
Grace, wait, second ghost appearance of Grace.
Obviously, Graham's very confused at first. Grace is here.
Grace is here, and then they have some really good, again, really weighty emotional stuff from
that,
Bradley Walsh of all people.
That scene where he was talking about how I've seen the world, but
I met Rosa Parks. I've been on an alien world.
Yeah.
The alien world that they went to was pretty bad, but I suppose it still counts. And then then the episode became about the kind of, I guess, a cliche of no, that's not your.
It's not your.
But Doctor Who has a history with that because
I really like them. The Doctor Who kind of about trying to be all no, that's not I know it seems, but that's not them.
That's not that. But if you cast
and
your
then
mind
the
back,
world can collapse in on itself.
yeah, well, that was the whole
too
plot
much
because
going on.
what was it called? Because it was a great because Antizone was great.
Yeah,
and then,
I forget. It was a really cool name.
it was a good
the name of it.
repeatable because they kept saying it.
Do you want me to see if I can go get my laptop?
Go
and
see
we can
and
look
find it up. But I quite liked all the stuff in the zone that we can't remember the name of, but we will soon find out. And I quite liked. Again, I'd say it's kind of cliche for Doctor Who because we've seen it 1,000 times in sci-fi plots where it's no, that's not your loved one. It's a clone or a scroll or a parallel dimension, dude, or But do you remember how in season 2 that happens? They go to the Cyberman universe and Rose's dad is alive.
Yeah.
And the 10th Doctor's no, that's not your dad. He's a different person. He just happens to be basically your dad.
Yeah.
And then Russell T Davies basically comes down on, no, it's literally fine. Because, that dad...
That's slightly different, though, because...
It's slightly different, but how different is it? Because...
There's a parallel universe, it was still, a real person.
But, how is... I know these ones just turn out to be the universe, but, it's getting pretty blurred, that line. What does it turn out to be?
The Doctor quickly deduces that they have encountered the Solitract, a sentient universe incompatible and exiled from the real one who seeks companionship.
Yeah.
Which is a great idea.
That's a
great
fantastic
idea.
Doctor Who plot. I really like that, and I really like...
That's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of felt that's the kind of idea that Moffat would have came up with.
Yeah, a friendly, happy Moffat, not
Yeah.
like an early Matt Smith Moffat, not a later day Moffat. I like the Solitract. They kept saying the Solitract.
Can we just say, I forget when it happened in this episode, but Yaz told the Doctor to reverse the polarity.
Yeah. That was great because they were trying to get through the mirror again, but it was being blocked.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I don't know, could you try maybe reversing the polarity? And then the Doctor's like, you're speaking my language, Yaz. Yes. I've been waiting all year for this.
Even though the Doctor rarely actually reverses the polarity.
I think Pertwee said it once.
Tom
and
Baker did say it a few times.
I feel like they say it, but not say they
Yeah.
don't reverse the polarity of the neutron flow.
They talk about reverse the polarity all the time.
Yeah.
To be fair, that is what she never said. Reverse the polarity of the neutron flow because that doesn't even make sense.
No,
the neutrons
but,
don't
like-
have polarity. That's the entire point.
Exactly, but like that's the band.
Yeah.
The that did happen, and I had forgotten about that, and I'm now grateful for remembering that. I might watch the episode again. I like how the Wikipedia summarized in 3 paragraphs because they did feel like, or was it 4? Yeah, 4.
That's 4.
It did feel like there was parts, like it was like Norway, like and the house, and then like the anti-zone, and then the Solitract. Is it the Solitract? You just
Solitract.
the Solitract universe. It starts to collapse because like you just can't have nice things. Like you always have to
Yeah.
have conflict because there's too many people in the universe, and it's going to collapse the entire universe. So they enter this prolonged bit of like trying to get everyone.
It's just because the Doctor's there that is screwing it up because she knows what it is like that.
No, I think they said it was too many people because
Yeah.
it was fine like with just the dad being there because
Yeah,
that was
then,
one thing.
yeah.
But maybe it was like the Doc was too many. Like the Doctor is such like a eldritch thing that maybe that was too much for it. But like, I think it was because they entered this prolonged thing of getting everyone out and they had to do it one by one and they had to convince everybody that
Yeah,
like
obviously. Was it Eric? The dad was Eric. Eric wasn't even wanting to leave because obviously his wife was there.
yeah.
And then Hannah was all like, you need to get out. Like, this is not my mum.
And then it started force pushing people away.
Yeah, so as they realised what was happening, so like Hannah got force pushed away along with Ryan and Yaz maybe.
Oh yeah, I feel like did Ryan even make it through into? No, I don't think Ryan even made it through into the Solitract universe.
I think he did.
Did Yaz make it through? Yaz was definitely there, but like, did he get force pushed away and then like battered in the head off the paper mache?
I forget.
Because that became like a plot point. But did the dad go through first? The last one to go was Graham, which is the main thing.
Yeah, because there was a whole like he had that amazing conversation with Grace about how all the things he had seen.
Mm-hmm. But like, the breaking point was that Ryan was in trouble.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And-
yeah, Ryan was because he was locked in the that was the whole thing because he was locked in the anti-world.
And like, Grace was like, "It's fine, he'll be fine." And like, Bradley Walsh was like, "Oh, you were so close. Like, you were so close. You almost had me." Like, Grace would like never, like,
Yeah.
she
Grace
would-
would have never like wanted to harm Ryan.
yeah, and would have
That's
always
how I knew
like
it
jumped to
wasn't
help
him.
him. And,
And
that
then
was
as soon as
great.
he realised this, he gets force pushed out.
Yeah,
And then that just leaves the Doctor.
and I feel like the Doctor makes a pact with like, it's like, "Oh, if you let them all go, like I'll stay with you."
Yeah.
And then immediately goes back. Well, like talks the universe into letting her go back
Yeah.
because it was still collapsing because it was still too much stuff going on. And then, like, I feel like this is a failing and a greatness because all of the things that were keeping the people there were their loved ones. And because this is like a new series of Doctor Who and you don't have anything to pull from, like, and it's all new actors and stuff, you can't really have anybody from the Doctor's past.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like a lot of people, I saw a lot of talk about that where like,
It would have been good if the Doctor had someone in the.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really put because any of the past companions, because those are actors that you have to hire, and it's
Yeah.
the whole thing. But like, that feels like it was kind of a spot for that to be a thing.
You could have put Amy Pond.
You could put
in
you could have put some Jack. You could have put like a recognized Ace. Anyone. You could have put like the
Jamie.
Doctor. Like there was a million things you could have done, but like for every real life technical reason you can, and
You
like
could have put Susan in there.
you could put the Timeless Child even is this is the thing. The thing that was there was a frog.
we should explain.
We should. There is
Grace-
context for the frog.
Grace referenced the fact that she'd gotten across both like 2 frog necklaces.
I cried.
Or was it earlier in the episode?
I teared
about
up
how like Ryan and Graham have both got Grace a frog necklace
because she likes frogs,
and that's how she used to prove that she was real.
yeah, I really like that. I teared up because Bradley Walsh was wearing the frog necklace.
Yeah.
And the realness of them both getting her the same thing, which
Yeah.
I think is a great observation. The universe, the Solitract universe, decided to manifest as a frog on a chair, which, and I don't think it was a very convincing frog either. Like all things
It
considered,
was great though. Like,
It
I
looked
didn't want it to be that
amazing.
convincing.
When I go home, I'll change the thumbnail to be the frog. Spoilers be damned, you need to see the frog. I How do you feel about the frog, David?
I really liked it. It was great. Like that frog was just like, I just want a companion.
Well, this frog acknowledges it's a frog, doesn't it? It's like, I like this form.
Yeah.
Okay. And like, what, like, have you got the document up there? Because we've got a listener question that relates to the frog, so we should probably just tackle it right now. The frog does a force push at one point. Like, it lifts its little frog hand and like force pushes the Doctor away after it has their pretty good conversation. Because the Doctor
loves it. Like,
the Doctor loves it. Like, that is a great
Yeah.
interaction for the Doctor to have. Like, the Doctor should be cutting about having more conversations with universes. Like, that should just be the norm, really. We're not very like good at keeping our document like
what is
tidy.
the frog made of, and whose idea was it?
And whose question was that?
Shona from Sterling.
Shona from Sterling asks, "What was the frog made of? And whose idea was it?" Well,
I think it was just made of the universe particles.
in universe, I think it was made of the universe. But out of universe, what do you think it was made of? Do you think it was a paper mache creation? Do you think it was that rubber?
I don't know.
It looks
Probably
very
rubber.
real
It
to
looked
me.
puppety to me.
Yeah, it looked like they had definitely run out of money because like they've done the Stitch thing with CGI and that looked
Yeah.
alright. They could have done that there, but they specifically chose to have it look as potentially fake as it did, which I think was a good choice. I'm well into it, but again, heavy Candyman vibes. Like that.
I think it was just a fun thing. Like,
It was definitely a fun thing, but was it a good thing?
I think it was a good thing.
Mm.
I love that the Doctor was really into it, because normally
Aye.
like, you're evil and any sort of this.
The
She
Doctor
was
didn't.
just like let me go, like do whatever you're gonna do, like be cool. Like
Yeah.
I really like you.
You can come with me in my memories to the
Yeah.
main universe, which I don't know. That's a cool sentiment, but I don't think it's a good thing. And then like I'd like to see the universe, the Solitract universe, in future
That
episodes.
seems like kind of hang this like I was gonna say it's too soon for it to come back. Like if this had been like episode 4 or something.
Yeah.
I would have
yeah.
loved to see this come back for the finale. But
I know. Well, it might.
It might.
You never know.
Well, I mean, we did get that reference to episode 1 and episode, so maybe we'll just get an episode 9 reference.
Exactly, back to back. But like the Solitract universe seems
Maybe
like a
that's
thing.
how they'll do it, because they'll be like, oh, if this was Moffat, it would have been in like episode 2 and everyone would have forgotten it.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah.
going to put it in episode 9 and then everyone will remember it when it comes back.
Again, we were talking about this last week, but like the episodes being potentially out of order from what they made them in, or like just kind of remixed to be where they are.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the
Maybe this one was originally meant to be the finale.
well, we can come back to that next week if next week's episode is just an episode. The Solitract episode, the Solitract universe seems like something that Big Finish will make a
It
McGann
seems like
box
way
set
too
about.
good an idea for them to not use. Like, this, I think the Solitract universe has been the single best idea of the entire series.
It's very memorable, like, and because it's that frog,
Yeah.
like we'll never forget it.
Like, there's so much. Get Moffat to write a fucking Solitract episode.
Yeah, I think Moffat could do good work there. Like, there's stuff to be done that isn't
Right,
just
Doctor Who name it's Solitract.
the Solitract. Yeah.
Like, damn.
Oh,
That's like the single best name.
I
of
think
anything.
I think it was quite bad because I feel like this is more than once that the Doctor's pulled it up that like the Doctor just knew what it was.
Apparently, the Radio Times gave this episode 1 star.
Out of what?
5.
Oh, I can see why. I can definitely see why. There's been worse episodes this season though, definitely.
The
Like,
Independent gave it 5 stars.
okay.
They did a lot worse.
Did the Guardian give it anything?
The Guardian just did like a recap. They don't
Okay.
just rate it.
I'd give, if we're gonna give this arbitrary stars, I would say 3 stars.
I'd give it 4.
4 stars, okay. 3.5. 3 and then a half for the frog. No, the frog deserves a full star.
Frog deserves a full star.
So I guess I would give it 4, but remember that the 4th one is solely for the frog. I did not expect to see that frog. I didn't expect to see it in the way that it was. It was such a shock.
So the dad finally realizes like this is dumb. I forget what happens. Like
I think everybody goes before that because like
I know
before
like
the frog.
what happens that makes the dad realize that he can't stay with the wife.
I don't know. Oh, the doctor the Doctor's really horrible.
Yeah.
The Doctor's like, do you want this guy or do you want a Time Lord that's lived all these lives and has all these memories and he can talk to me about everything forever? And then the universe just force pushes the dad out like he's nothing. It's really horrible. Like,
Oh yeah, like yeah, she basically says, Do you think this dad's intro? Why do I have me?
Yeah,
I love
which
that.
it's like kind of tough love and everything. They just save the
Because
day.
of course the Salvatrucks would be interested in the doctor.
Yeah, and then they just talk it out, and then the doctor's like, "This universe is still collapsing. Like, gonna send me home. Like, you're a cool guy. I'm not gonna genocide you. That is what I do normally, but I'm not gonna do it this time." And then the episode ends. Like, but there is
when
another
they're walking
thing.
back to the one more thing.
Yeah.
When they're walking back to the TARDIS, like Graham's talking about how the conversation he had with Grace.
Yeah.
They share a nice little moment. And then
The big bit.
And then
Mm-hmm.
Ryan calls Graham Grandad!
Woo!
We thought it would happen in the finale, but it happened.
Like, I cheered,
What, like,
but at the same time,
how did this happen? Like,
who cares?
Was this writer just like...
Well, no, I think that's good. I think
I
that's
know,
good.
but it was like, you think Chibnall would have been wanting to be the one who did it?
Well, I
Like,
was.
did he tell this writer to do it?
I was
or
watching
did
a
this writer
thing.
just do it and then Chibnall was just like, fair enough.
I forget who it was I was watching, but it was someone on YouTube was making the point that all of Moffat's stuff, all of these kind of character moments and character resolutions and character development are tied up in his episodes.
Yeah.
And if they only happen in the finale, it means that none of the characters can change or develop in the bulk of the series.
Also, that's not true because there's major plot stuff that happens in Series 5 in non-Moffat episodes. Rory dies.
That's
in the
true, but
Silurian
like I
episode.
mean, that's his like actual season when he was trying. Let's be honest, and then maybe season 6, but then he totally gets into his like.
Sure.
Like, have you seen everything
The
post
thing is, like,
season 6?
if you're a showrunner, you're always gonna like either write it yourself or tell the person to put it in their episode.
I'm sure Chibnall
Or
told
even
him to
just
put
write
that in
the part
there.
of the episode. Yeah. Or even just write the part of the
Yeah.
episode where.
We'll never know what the percentages are
Right.
and like what actually, because is he script editor as well? Does like that? Does that count?
He's a showrunner. He has to be.
Yeah, so like he will be putting stuff in there and that, but like. I think it's cool that it happened in this episode. I think it's. I'd totally forgotten that it was a thing.
It's
To be
Greg
honest.
Wallace.
Oh wow, big Greg Wallace. Is he all right? He looks quite
He
confused.
does look. He looks a bit.
Lawrence and Greg Wallace. We should put subs on. We'll never know.
I don't think you can have subtitles on live iPlayer.
Really?
Yeah.
You get subtitles on live news. The BBC News has live subs.
Oh, an iPlayer.
Yeah, oh
Right.
maybe. I'm not. You can. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But
That's the end of the episode.
yeah. And then there was more sheep banter. I feel like there was a
Yeah.
bookend in sheep bants. Again, we've already rated the episode. We've never rated any of the other episodes. We've never gone 4 stars. 3 and a 4. 3 and a frog.
I give it a 4. Or a 3 and a 4.
3 and a frog stars. You're right about having ideas, and it's probably better than I had too
I
many
probably
ideas.
did have too many ideas.
But it's probably better that than
Yeah, because like a lot. I feel like a lot of the episodes have just been like boilerplate Who. Like
Yeah.
good boilerplate Who.
I guess you could say this is boilerplate Who in terms of it's like it's a thing, and then they go to another universe
but
where
like,
it's not
it
the thing.
had original ideas.
Okay.
and, like,
They had the like tenacity to put that frog in there.
like if this writer doesn't get invited back, then
If this writer's real and isn't just some sort of like Chibnall wrote this episode and now is ashamed of it and didn't want his name to actually be on it. Because as we say, the guy doesn't have a Wikipedia page, which I think he would, in the wake of you having a Doctor Who episode out and people trying to find out
what's
who you are.
time? What's people in?
Maybe he's like a... He's got an IMDb,
He doesn't
or
have
someone
any-
does.
It looks like he's worked on Skins.
Oh my god! I suppose everyone's worked on Skins, to be fair. There's a...
Ed has worked on the 4th and 5th series of Skins for E4. He won the 2007 Free Italia Award for Best Original Radio Drama for his radio play, The Incomplete Recorded Works of a Dead Body. Ed is currently under commission for the National Theatre London. Ed co-hosts the Movie Podcast. He just seemed like...
A guy.
Apparently all his only IMDb credits are Skins and Doctor Who.
Which season of Skins?
Series 4, which is very much dead
Oh
zombie
no,
Skins.
zombie
like,
Skins. I remember, I've seen Skins seasons 1,
Skins
2,
series
and
1
3?
is maybe the only one that matters. Like 2 was also fine, but
2 does a lot of work.
Skins series 1 is like a cultural event.
Season 2 of Skins.
It'll be hella dated now.
Okay. It was hell dated at the time, if we're honest. But like Skins season 2...
it was kind of like Youth in 2007 though.
Doesn't it like a time skip in like season... Because there's season 1 and then the
Yeah.
main... Spoilers for Skins. But doesn't
That's
the main...
one of my
Doesn't...
places.
What's his face? The guy that's in lots of films now. The the guy from Mad Max. Knuckles? Knuckles?
Yeah.
You know the guy? I mean, you'll be the top guy on the IMDb, surely, for Skins. No, apparently. Nicholas Hoult, right? Doesn't Nicholas Hoult get like hit by a car at the end of season 1, and then has brain damage for all of season 2?
Like, I don't know the character that died.
And isn't season 3 like? Isn't it like a cast shift? Isn't it like some people, like the brothers and sisters of the main cast of season 1 of Skins?
Yeah, I think like I think the original cast is the first 2 series, and then after that it gets weird.
It gets weird.
I think like if you only watch one series of Skins, series 1, that's the one that matters.
There's a great, and this is one of the few Frankie Boyle jokes that I think about all of the time. But there's like a 2007-ish Mock the Week where they're like talking about like what producers are doing right now, like TV producers. And Frankie Boyle's joke was like, they're like, what can we do? It'll be like Doctor Who crossed with Skins. It'll be Countdown crossed with Skins. And that was very much 2007.
Literally, it was about referring the edges, but like literally, as far as I can see, this guy's only written like he's written 2 episodes of Skins, and then he got a Doctor Who episode, and he did a really fucking good job.
Well, presumably, he said it's something about radio drama, so presumably he's doing other stuff.
Like,
And,
this,
like,
this
he's
guy's
been
got
asked to-
sci-fi. This guy's got better sci-fi ideas than the showrunner.
Well, you know, don't know that, because it's not necessarily an idea by him. He could have just been commissioned to write the episode.
I mean,
or whatever.
theoretically, Chibnall could have. But you think if you came up with an idea
It
that
doesn't feel
good,
like a Chibnall idea.
I know, but you think if you came up with an idea that good, you'd want to write it yourself.
Like, I don't think I thought it was a fun idea. I don't think it was like a change the world kind
No,
of
but like considering like it was a Doctor Who ass idea.
Oh, aye.
Like that's
It
like
reminds me a lot of Enlightenment, the Peter Davison episode where it's like a kind of boat race, like an Eton boat race, first episode, and then it's that but in space.
like think of the possibilities you could do with that idea.
Aye, there's other stuff to be done. There's definitely follow up stuff. Like I don't know if like the Scandi drama was the best thing to bolt onto the front of it necessarily. Anytime. Also, that and the man's been like, yeah, he looks like a man. He definitely looks like a man.
So he has like he's got.
Yeah, he's got loads of other
so
credits.
like,
Bloody hell!
these are his only TV credits. Like he's got.
He's got radio credits, film, The Den.
He's done a lot of radio ad dramas.
Yeah, theatre. That's a credible list. A CV and a half. Also, he's been hosting a podcast.
Did you
so.
Look at this! Look at this! Is this
In development?
are we discovering breaking news here? Because I don't know if this has been like published anywhere. We're just on his agent's page. But we've got in development Doctor Who Series 12 2019, which is weird. Like, is that official? Because we heard it was delayed.
Yeah.
But 1 times 50, so he's doing an episode for next series. Good on him. Woo!
Good work.
Maybe I'll get a Wikipedia page now. Have we just like
why does they have a wiki? Like, why
have
did
we
they make
just
it
broken
himself?
a Doctor Who story? Because I feel like they haven't announced the writers yet.
No, well, maybe. Presumably, he's probably announced that on his own podcast, because that's probably something they would do there. And then, is this his agent's page you were saying?
Yeah.
Did it say? Well, I've seen contradictory stuff about 2019, because you know how there's that whole kind of rumour about them leaving? I've seen that the people saying that they're leaving after next season, or leaving after 2019, implying that the next season will be in 2019. But I think what with Brexit and all, I don't think there'll be a season this season.
This is this guy's podcast. You should watch this.
That's a good idea for a podcast.
When was the last episode out?
Or maybe it's one of those quality podcasts that only drops.
58 followers.
Oh wow, really? We could we're nowhere near that, but we could definitely rival that within a decade.
You're excited about this upcoming episode at right times. When was the last episode of this podcast out? It doesn't seem like recently.
Well, he's probably been working on his Doctor Who episode for a long time.
I would be working on
Aye, definitely. I would have more ideas currently, at the age I'm at, than Chibnall has right now. And I know that's a slant against him, but like...
The last episode came out October 1st, 2018.
That's not bad. That's kind of a month ago. Like, it's 3 months ago, but it's kind of a month ago. Do you feel like, I was saying I have more ideas for an episode of like Doctor Who than Chibnall has currently? Because like, you know how Chibnall's done Doctor Who this season?
Yeah.
You know how like his big things have been man with teeth on face and spiders?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, as someone who's like not like sat down and wrote an episode of Doctor Who, do you feel like you probably have more ideas than this season is presented?
I'm not a writer, so probably
But like,
not.
but you have a love for Autons.
I mean, if
do
okay,
you have
okay.
a love for things?
Yes.
Do you have a
because
love for things?
I would have written like established monster plots.
Aye, but even that.
But okay, like I'm not saying I have the ideas now, but if
Mm.
someone said you're the new Doctor Who
Yeah.
showrunner, I would come
You
up
would
with
do, right?
ideas.
I'll tell you right now. You would do a Towering Inferno episode.
I'd do like a mall episode with
A mall episode with
Dead
Autons
Mall
needs
with
to have
Autons.
Dead Mall like.
How has that not happened?
How has that not
How has
happened?
that not happened? How? It's 2018. Literally the news. You can't go one day in the news without closed shops and closed shopping
Yeah.
centres, and you have Autons.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it. You can go in the enter to the shopping centre.
the app was telling us to update there. I don't know if like it was heard you talking about dead malls and Autons. I was like, would you like to update? I don't think we can update YouTube, but like you know how they've never actually done. You know how like shopping models like mannequins have changed in the last 40 years, but they've never done a different looking Auton.
Yeah.
How have they not done that? Like.
Shocking.
I'm not demanding that Chibnall loves Autons and does it, but like,
I
there's
am
an
demanding
idea.
that
I am. I'm definitely demanding it, and like, I hope that next season, whenever it comes out, I don't necessarily need it to come out next year, but they do old monsters, and they don't have to do them every episode. Because like, how amazing would that be if next season every episode's like an old monster episode? Because this experiment didn't really work out that well. It felt fresh, but not good.
There's even nothing else like.
Other than the frog.
The Stens are really cool.
The Stenza without their mask off.
Yeah.
Definitely, I thought was a cool design.
Stitch.
Stitch was cool. You could do other stuff with Stitch, but that does require doing CGI, which seems like you couldn't do that all the time.
Do we want a question?
Questions. That is the Doctor Who segment done, and now we'll...
from Sterling, I would also like to know if there was any ground stuff here, like the one described in the F, even if it's held in the script, that might require any recall, like
the bloody word that can't...
Tesseract. No,
Not the Tesseract.
that wasn't our Doctor Who thing though. The Solitract.
The Solitract. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know
I don't know.
if there is any scientific
We'll
basis.
go ask like a physicist.
A theoretical physicist. Well, I guess antimatter.
Yeah.
If antimatter works like it says it does in fiction, then
Sure.
it's that. Because like that's kind of what Omega was.
Stephen Hawking would have known.
The Hawk would have known. What's his face? That guy. The guy that you see in a lot of talking head things in films now. Can't remember his name. He's a scientist.
Don't know.
Not Brian Cox, I suppose, would be a man to ask that kind of stuff. He seems like he wants the publicity. Like,
I guess.
would Brian Cox would talk about the applications of Doctor Who episodes in the real world? I would say probably. It just probably won't be sentient. Any other questions?
Mar from Maryland.
It was Mary. Well, Maryland. In my head it worked, but I didn't actually say it.
Andrew Mar.
Our Mar. The
General-
Prime Mar.
General opinions on how the series progresses. Will you do reviews of old series posted New Year's episode? Can we expect reviews of other stuff outside of Who? The series, like, we're hoping for a banger of a finale. Like,
The finale has to be a banger.
Like, I really, really hope they tie plot together and they give us, like, a through line or something. Just give us some.
I don't know how. Like, I'd want it to be
I
relentless
want
amounts.
something major to happen.
Yes, it doesn't look like it because it looks like it's a future episode on like a crashed war planet.
Yeah, but there's also, have you heard all the stuff about how there was like 9 different like battles or distress calls?
Right. Okay.
So we
Well,
could be going like places.
9 different like the 9 different episodes
Yeah, I
tied
wonder.
together. But what would that mean though? Like the Punjab is like putting out a distress. Like the spiders. Like you could do stuff. Like see if they definitely for me have to have the Stens in there because like why would you do that episode
Well,
2?
they have to have the if the Stens are
The Stens
are
and then like the Timeless Child because I can't go other more seasons waiting for like the Timeless Child to resolve. They need to have that President Trump man in there.
So, on the President of France, Giraffe Palestine remains on a battlefield, but as Dr. Graham, Yaz, and Ryan answered 9 separate distress calls, like 9
Yeah,
like,
9's a number, isn't it?
They discover the planet holds far more secrets. Who is the mysterious commander with no memory? What lies beyond the myth here? What are the Ucks?
The Ux. See, that sounds like, I guess, a unique Doctor Who finale in that it doesn't seem to have the Master, the Daleks, or the Cybermen
this
in
is
it.
how Chibnall's describing it. It's like the big arc this year is the emotional journeys of Graham, Yaz, Ryan, and the Doctor.
I want to
They've been through
swear
a lot
about that,
emotionally.
but
They've
this is a
lost
PG
people.
podcast.
They've been through and seen all the problems as well as dangerous, but like, and they made a conscious. But like, it doesn't feel like that.
No.
It just feels like they've
It feels like they've had fun standalone
Yeah.
adventures that don't really
It doesn't
interconnect.
feel like they've been on an adventure, really. Like
No, it doesn't feel like that. Like, I can see them
this is
trying.
The big arc this year is the emotional. They're not being a great emotional. Like
Bradley Walsh.
Bradley Walsh has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like
Bradley Walsh is a great idea for a companion. Like,
Yeah.
his character of
they absolutely highlight the show. Like,
him being like a middle-aged man who's lost people and is out there seeing the universe and potentially dying of cancer soon, because I'm deadly sure that'll come up again. That's a fantastic idea for a companion. That eclipses Yaz and Ryan, who've not been on an emotional journey this year. They've not been on any kind of journey. They've in fact just been there. Like,
why can they not keep the time slot?
because it's modern TV. Like,
Right, so here we don't know what Terrifying Beasts is, but we wouldn't be surprised to see the return of the Stenza.
yeah, the Stenza will have to.
They'll have
I don't
to.
want them to though, because I don't care.
After all, the guttural voice we hear saying, "You gave me my destiny," and the short next time trailer doesn't sound a million light years away from the dulcet tone of Tim Shaw.
Yep, I guess we're here for Tim Shaw. That there's a picture of Chibnall there. That looks like a picture of a man who just thinks that Doctor Who's a fun time, probably for kids. Like, I hope that he always hears himself saying basic Doctor Who. You know that, like, I bring it up every week. But that clip of him on the 80s, Slayton, Colin Baker's Who, calling it standard Doctor, I hope he hears that all the time, because that's literally what he's been making for 10 weeks now.
Apparently, the BBC are determined to keep this episode a secret. So
That's
maybe
good.
there is big stuff.
Now's the time to, like, drop Daleks, Cybermen, and Masters. Like, seems like the last 5 minutes is just like, here's all the things that you liked from the past. I'll be super happy. Like, I'll be like, yay, it's a thing I recognise, yay. I don't care about Tim Shaw. I don't care what he's been up to. I don't care that he's like. Remember how he melted?
They tried to make us care about Tim Shaw. Like they can't. Like,
If they didn't do that episode 2, it wouldn't be that much of a.
yeah.
But like that was more for his race. Like the Stenza are a big deal because they
Yeah.
went out and got science slaves. Like who cares? Like the Daleks do that every day. Like that's Tuesday for them. Do we have other listener questions? Well, no. Like there's lots in there. Like
when will we see Yaz's character develop? Do you think? Well, I get like unless sometimes we've got more development of her grandmother than her.
Yep, we
She
know.
had that whole thing in the Punjab and she hasn't mentioned
Her
it
mum
since.
as well got fired and was sad about it. And I remember more about
We've never
that.
seen her again.
We've never seen her. Well, we saw her, didn't we?
I saw her
The
briefly,
Punjab
but,
for like a
there was all
second.
that stuff about like. Do you remember all that stuff about how the mum's like next time you're back you're gonna have to explain?
I
how
don't
the
think that's
doctor.
well.
Nothing has happened about it. Was it just like a throwaway line that people took to mean more than it actually did? Like, it was really weird.
There's another Yaz weirdness. I don't know if we talked about it. Was it last week where she was talking about getting bullied for reasons?
Yeah.
What was that all about, David? What was?
Why did they not?
Were they alluding to something there? Was there something I should know about? Like,
But they just don't go anywhere with it.
it was kind of like a anecdote that just trailed off, and I was like, am I meant to? Is this what I think it is? Like, There's a lot of stuff around Yaz that's quite weird. Go back, because they were talking about, Mara was asking if we're going to do classic episodes, which I think is bants. We could totally,
Yeah. We will definitely do the New Year's episode.
definitely do the news episode. As we said at the start, we'll repeat what we do, because we get the viewers to
There'll be
recognize
3
it.
more episodes after this at least, because there'll
Yes.
be
Tomorrow's
the
the finale.
the post.
The autopsy.
Autopsy,
It has to be an
yeah.
autopsy, because they're implying that it's dead.
Shut up. It's fine. It's a lie. I liked it. And then series the New Year episode. That'll be like our welcome to 2019 banger.
Yes, the first episode of Brexit. 2K
Year
Brexit.
2K Brexit.
2KB.
Or maybe not. I don't know. The way Brexit's going, it's hard to tell at this point.
We're into the politics zone.
We might
Buckle
have-
up.
We might have another referendum. Like Theresa May will hopefully not be the Prime Minister anymore.
May's Britain.
It might
A
be-
new dawn
it might
for
be,
May's Britain.
It might be what do we call them?
Mog's Britain.
No,
Boris's Britain.
or what's the name of Sajid Javid's Britain.
I don't know who that is. I've not been
He's
following
the
the
Home
recent.
Secretary.
Right. Okay. What about what's his face? Gove. Gove's Britain.
Britain.
Good God. Those are all potentially and
Liam Fox's Britain.
worse outcomes. It only gets worse.
Disgraced
like,
former
this is
Defence
what I-
Secretary Liam Fox's Britain.
This is what I keep saying, right? We're into the politics one. What I keep saying is, Theresa May is prime, right?
Mhm.
Who? What? How did we get here?
I don't know.
Like,
I know.
I blinked.
I know.
Like, you know who David Cameron was? Probably the worst prime
We
minister
got here because
of the last 100
we
years.
got here because there was a leadership contest, and then Michael Gove and Boris Johnson stabbed each other in the back.
But you're
and then
already
the
down
only-
to the dregs
I know.
of Theresa
And then
May.
the only other person was Andrea Leadsom, who did that terrible interview about how, as
Being
a
a mum,
mother,
yeah. Yeah, that went badly.
and then she resigned to Tory. Then she resigned. And then the only person left was me. They didn't even.
But
have a
that's where we're at.
contest.
That's where we're at the bottom of the barrel.
May would have won anyway.
I know, but like May.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
we can't politics. That has to be like a separate thing. We have to like make it somehow the daily politics, but not call it the daily
When it's
politics.
the Doctor Who off season, it'll be the
The
Blitz.
Doctor Who off season, and I want to clarify this: the Doctor Who off season,
Which
which
might
might
be a
last
year.
for years, will be nothing but relentless primeval. You're gonna come round, and we're gonna watch an episode of Primeval a week, and it's gonna be the best thing ever. The viewing figures will go from 1 to 2. They're gonna skyrocket. People, that sweet primeval nostalgia. We've already talked about skins. I quite like Merlin.
That 2006 Robin
Hood, which I saw on a bus in Falkirk the other month. Like they'd like skinned the posters off the side, and underneath it was like this hard. I showed you this. I said, have you not seen pictures?
Oh my
Hard
God.
crusted ads for
I never
2006.
saw that picture.
Oh, I'll have to show you. I've got it somewhere. But like literally, this was the
Incredible.
other month. I had to chase after the bus and take pictures of it. I was like tears streaming down my eyes. 2K6 Robin Hood. Oh, they've never been bested. They should, I don't know what they would run against Chibnall's off season. Like,
Yeah.
what can they mine for like? What's like a good? Because they did Robin Hood
Merlin.
and they did Merlin. Like that's like British folklore
Yeah.
kind of like. Do you do like a kind of
There's
like?
a new Robin Hood film, by the way.
There is. I thought it was like a modern day
The
thing.
10 for the last decade.
Yeah, but like that Robin Hood from what's his face, the Gladiator man? I keep forgetting.
Russell Crowe.
There was like a Robin Hood that like they keep doing a thing where it's like not Robin Hood because you know how like you think of Robin Hood, it's like merry men in like Sherwood Forest made merry. They keep doing like prequels to Robin Hood that end with Robin Hood being the status quo, but
Yeah.
not actually being the thing you just watched. I thought this thing was like a modern day Robin Hood from the advertising. Apparently, it's not modern day, which is mad because it looks like he's wearing a hoodie and stuff and like a hat. But aye, Primeval. We're going to definitely do Primeval. We'll do classic episodes of Doctor Who. Was there another part of that question where it was because it was
There's
like,
another Mark question, which is, do you think Walsh is going to be nominated for a BAFTA? I hope so.
oh
I
aye,
think he's done great work.
get Walsh an Oscar
Great
somehow.
work. Great work.
Like he'll be nominated over
Incredible.
Whittaker, and that'll be the controversy. And you'll be like, aye, it's kind of a shame that
I
like
really like Whittaker. I just think
She's not had
Walsh
any
has
meat.
had better material.
he's had all of the emotional weight, and I
Yeah.
keep saying that because
Like,
it's bloody true.
Yeah. Like,
You think the
that
Doctor
scene
would
with
get those
Grace was
scenes?
just incredible.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
It's
It's like he brings such emotional weight to that character and the way that he speaks. He's like,
It's not like it's hard because he's dealing
Yeah.
with like all these kind of like dead relatives and that kind of stuff. But like
I've seen.
he's
I
doing
met-
it. Like
I met Rosa Parks, Grace. Sean
met-
Pertwee. Sean Pertwee narrates MasterChef: The Professional. Doctor Who.
oh, Doctor Who squared. Sean Pertwee should be the Doctor at some point. Like he'd be a really good. Like,
Sean Pertwee does not normally narrate MasterChef.
really, who's
Yeah.
the narrator of MasterChef?
It's
Do you know?
normally a woman.
Okay, but this is the off, like the MasterChef Extra,
Yeah.
MasterChef Confidential. I missed Doctor Who Confidential. It was good.
I think the same person who narrates MasterChef is normally one of this isn't M&S. This is
Oh, right, okay.
Christmas turkey. This is an M&S. for the
Synergy
Star Wars,
there.
Yeah.
This is like a toy program we've seen an ad for.
It
looks like it, doesn't it?
Two joint. It looks
Mm.
like a Horizon. Like,
Yeah,
how do our
kids.
kids play and
Their Wonderful World on BBC Two.
these new ideas. They're actually pretty good.
They're good,
ideas.
but they're not. They're not.
classic.
They're not what you want from BBC Two, are they? Hmm. Now this is this ad for
This is
the
a very
BBC. Is it all of BBC as well? Do they cut into? I hate how they've cut it because there's like a big master one that ends with
one
Freddie
that-
Mercury.
oh,
That Idris Elba appearance in it is incredible. Aye. Is there any other questions?
Uh,
The
Meek, what direction would you like to see them take next season to improve? More through plots
Mhm.
and more classic monsters
I'm kind of stunned.
and more original ideas.
I'm definitely stunned because going into this
All
season,
the things that I said I wanted in the
yeah, going into the season, I assumed that this season would be a Netflix show because it's like 10
It's
episodes.
so not that.
It's so not an.
so not that.
You couldn't really binge this, and you would
No.
have no reason to binge this.
Yeah.
Because nothing connects. Like it's all just standalone. It kind of feels like what RTD wanted to do, like in like 2005, but then made it all RTD-ish.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, oh, we're gonna do like 12 episodes. They're gonna be this, this, and this, and then
RTD had like 2 parters though.
Oh, aye.
Episodes that led on to episodes.
it's kind of. I don't think I missed the 2-parters really.
I kind of do miss the 2 part. Like, I know they're bad, but like.
They were the
miss
place.
them.
The 2-parters were the place to do the plot and do
Yeah.
like the character plot because that first Aliens London and all that had the kind of Rose domestic stuff and
Yeah.
like that was kind of the room for that because you've got so much extra time to tell a story. I don't think I've missed it that much this season because I've enjoyed the
No.
idea of there being like
Also, with 10
separate
episodes, like, you can't really.
no.
Like, the 3 episodes that. Like, the 3 episodes of Lost were basically like, that's where the second part of the
Yeah,
2 parters would
Yeah,
be.
I don't mind there being 10 episodes as well. I feel like that's a fine length for
Yeah.
Doctor Who. I was holding Children of Earth in my hands the other day. Not all of the Children of Earth in the world, but the DVD of Torchwood Children of Earth. That was only like 5 episodes, 6 episodes, wasn't it? Something like that. Do you remember? Was it like a week? Was it a Monday to Friday week?
Well,
Children of Earth.
yeah, it was a Monday
Aye.
to Friday.
So-
So that's crazy, by the way.
There.
A Monday to Friday.
They should do that for Doctor Who. I'm pretty sure that format worked. See if you did.
That is one of the best TV. You know what
Yeah.
else aired in that format? Dead Set aired in that
Oh
format.
yeah, I get nightmares about Dead Set. I don't like it.
Great.
That reminded me of like Brooker and
great
his Millions.
It's a great TV format.
It's a fantastic TV. See if they did a Doctor Who format. See if they did Children of Earth, but it wasn't Children of Earth and it didn't have that last episode. That would be a
Like,
good
see,
season.
just the vibe of like every day at 9 p.m. You know,
You're watching.
you're watching. It's a banging format.
Like they should totally do that. But like they should totally do a Netflix show next year. They should do like a 10 episode. This is one plot. You know, do different planets every episode in different time. Because that's the thing. You could totally get away with it. You could totally do a Netflix show where it's the one like movie basically, but you've split it into different things. That like, oh yeah, I was watching the Desert Planet episode. I was watching the Ice World episode. I was watching the Modern Day Earth episode. You could totally do that. You could have your cake and literally eat it. But no, instead they've kind. You know, I feel like this isn't my original idea, and I'm probably stealing it from one. But you know, this season kind of feels like those kids novels under RTD and Moffat. You know those ones that you see all over the place in like charity shops, like hardback thick ones.
Yeah,
that
the
were
new ones.
The new ones are the same ones, but like
Ah.
like the David Tennant ones and the Eccleston ones,
Yeah.
and they're always like weird, like they would have been an episode, but not quite good enough for an episode.
Yeah.
That kind of feels what the season's been. Like they're very inoffensive and very like that was an episode of Doctor Who. I definitely want next season, whenever it comes out, to just be all recurring monsters.
Give me Autons.
Give me Autons and a Dead Mall.
Like how?
Give me a Dalek episode where they've got a bomb and that's their plan.
I just want.
There's a
Autons
Cyberman
and a
episode
Dead Mom!
where they try to convert people into Cybermen. And then maybe a Master episode. Do like we were saying this at the start, but like do 20th century episodes. Has
Yeah.
there been any this season that I'm forgetting about? That
No.
No.
Well, the Rosa Parks. So.
yes, the Rosa Parks. That's
Rosa
a good
Parks,
example.
yeah.
It's not exactly
Rosa
what we
Parks,
think of
the
as the
Finch
20th
ad.
century, is it? Because when we say 20th century, what we're doing is do 90s episodes. But
There hasn't been anything.
no, but like the Rosa Parks one totally
Like,
counts. And
why
see
has
how
there not been such a good see that moment in the Captain Marvel trailer where you're like, that's a blockbuster. Give me that.
did you see the new Captain Marvel
No.
trailer that dropped? She just has Super Saiyan hair. Like Marvel knows what they're doing. Did you see that the bloody Avengers 4 trailer was going to drop, but then it got moved back because George Bush died?
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's been confirmed, but that's like the vibe that's out there. I assumed, because you know how like Marvel's this giant and Disney are this giant evil megacorp.
Yes.
What I would do, I would drop it on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I would begin because you know how like you're already in like people's homes with your toys and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be like getting Marvel films for Christmas. Just be like, yo, here's your Christmas present from Marvel, the Avengers 4 trailer.
That's a vibe.
You only need like an AI and one guy to like be there dropping the trailer, so you're only paying like a guy for coming in on Christmas, which you can do anyway.
I mean,
'cause
they
you're
don't
Marvel.
pay a guy, they can just auto drop it.
Just auto drop it, right? And then what a vibe for that would be. It's like, oh, there's the Queen's speech. I'm not watching the Queen's speech. I'm watching the bloody Avengers 4 trailer.
Oh,
But aye, that's apparently out soon. Because like,
coffee thing.
oh god, you and your Lego. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Do we have? 'Cause that was James, wasn't he?
That's the
That's the end of the listener question. We'll wrap up with some kind of lukewarm, off topicness. Or no, before we do that, what's the episode called next week? Isn't it called?
Oh god.
Isn't it like the Battle of?
Rankosav Skur or something?
As a
The
man,
Battle of Ranskur Av Kolos.
as a man that enjoys dumb deep lore and stuff like that, I don't think I'll remember that ever.
No,
So goodness knows what the general public's going to think of that.
that sounds like hard sci-fi. That
It does, doesn't it?
The Battle of Ranskur Av Kolos.
Maybe it's like an anagram, and it like turns into the master or something, because he likes to do that with his episode titles. Off topic. Have you watched or seen anything this week that you would like to talk about to end off the podcast?
No.
No, I've not seen anything particularly good. I'm not. There's not been any cultural moments, has there, in the last hot week?
George Bush died.
George Bush died. I didn't notice. I tend to notice things like that. Like
It
Twitter
was
tells me.
on the news on Saturday.
I didn't see it. I didn't even see any breaking. I guess I don't watch the news now. Like I don't sit and watch the feed, and I could, but I don't. So that happened. We're a president down.
Can we talk about something that I just realised?
Go for it.
Do you remember how before I'm on the series Facebook page?
Yep.
Do you remember how before they announced who the Doctor was going to be? Do you remember for that hot month
Mhm.
where the favourite was Chris
I
Marshall?
do. I
Holy
do remember that.
shit! Holy shit! Imagine if this series
was.
had Chris Marshall.
Oh, that would be.
Oh!
See, I think Chris
I would not
Marshall.
I would not watch. I would not.
I
watch.
think that Chris Marshall. I'm probably wrong in saying this, but I think that he could be an okay Doctor.
Like the most
But-
boring.
But I don't think his Doctor would have survived this season. Like, imagine Chris Marshall's Doctor with these stories. Like, oh my god. Chris Marshall.
That's when you realise how positive Jodie Whittaker is actually being.
Yeah, or no,
You
and
realise-
lucky near miss. He probably never was like cast, like
I know.
interviewed or even, but like,
It was just like the like.
mm,
It was just like boring betting company. But he looks like a doctor.
he could be. He was in a BBC drama recently, wasn't he? He was in Trouble in Paradise. So wasn't, yeah. Didn't he get replaced by
He
like?
got replaced by Dougal.
Yeah, did he get replaced by Dougal? Didn't he get replaced by Armstrong? Didn't Armstrong get replaced by Dougal?
Oh,
or
no, he got
something like
replaced
that.
by Dougal.
That's a fun time. I quite liked My Family back in the day. Like I thought that was pretty fun.
Oh, but no. So like it was originally Ben Miller. Then it was Chris Marshall.
Yeah,
And now it's Dougal. You're right.
yeah, I thought that was the lineage. So Marshall, Armstrong, and then
Dougal.
Dougal,
Ardal O'Hanlon.
and O'Hanlon, who has been in Doctor Who, which you know,
It
that's
has one of a great Doctor Who.
most banging episode. Like if we had the top 5 most banging episodes of Who, it's definitely up there.
Gridlock.
Big Gridlock 07.
Classic.
Episode 3-ish? 3-ish?
You know what's scary? I was like
Was that 11 years ago, was it?
that was 11 years ago, and I feel like when Gridlock was on, like it was only like 10 years since Father Ted, or
Oh.
9 years since Father Ted had
Oh, yeah, I can't...
finished. So we're
can't
further away from that episode than we were
Did
of
you-
Father Ted when that Gridlock aired.
There was a lot of that on Twitter the other day. There was a guy just going about. There was an account that was basically saying that kind of terrifying age thing. It was things like Maggie from The Simpsons being 30 years old,
Yeah.
and like, I can't remember the other things, but it was great. Like, it's only been this year since. Oh yeah, it was in. The one that got me was in Wayne's World. How they were headbanging to Bohemian Rhapsody,
Uh-huh.
and if they remade Wayne's World
I've heard, I've
today.
seen this one.
The appropriate music would be like
Early
Sum 41,
2000s,
like
yeah.
Fat Lip and like stuff like that. Which
I'd be hell up for that.
I'd be up for it, but it's like time. Why do you? We're very old. Bush died. That's quite Is it sad? Wasn't he a monster? Like, once you're president, you're basically a
It's quite
monster.
bad. Well,
He only had
he
one
was better
term,
than his son,
which,
one
which-
term.
which
He
is
got
enough. What was the line in The Simpsons where he's writing these memoirs?
Oh,
It's like
God.
one term, which I feel was more than adequate to achieve all of my goals, or something like.
Yeah. Famously, did the Americans more family like the Waltons and Leslie, or
More families like the Waltons and less like the Simpsons. And didn't they do a direct reference to that where they're watching it on TV and like parts like
that was like an early.
where like exactly like the Waltons were hoping for the end of the Depression as well or something like.
Yeah. And then obviously they did Two Bad Neighbors.
Two Bad Neighbors, classic.
Classic.
I've watched all of that. I
I
suppose
was
the
trying
thing,
to find that clip actually.
the two things. The thing I've watched this week is season 5 of The Simpsons, which made me realise how much of each episode was a banger. Like, I know it's classic, it's midpoint
no,
classic,
I
but
don't-
still,
I
you
don't
know.
want thing for a funeral. I want.
Well, to be fair, he has just died. Like he's still a president, isn't he? Like you still get to be the president after you're the president.
No, he's still president.
You're-
He's like a state
Yeah,
funeral.
a president has died. Like it's just going to be that.
Here it is.
Is this like the actual
My name
audio?
is Jim Brooks, one of the co-developers and executive producers of The Simpsons. On October 1st, 1990, George Sr.'s wife.
I don't know if we can like show this. I feel like we'll get flagged by YouTube and its
And then she
algorithms.
said, I love America's funniest home videos, but remains baffled after sampling The Simpsons. It was the dumbest thing I had ever seen, she says. But it's a family thing, and I guess it's clean. So
I
this
guess it's
just
clean.
happens to us. We, of course, not bothering anybody, keeping to
You were thinking that George Bush was the first when The Simpsons first aired.
Yeah, well,
I decided
80 whatever,
Yeah.
89.
The following letter was sent to the First Lady.
Dear First Lady, I recently read your criticism of my
I love
family.
this.
I was deeply hurt.
I don't know where this comes from, but it's really good. Oh, it's season 4 Simpsons DVD.
Maybe just a wee bit short of normal.
Wee bit.
But as Dr. Seuss says, a person.
This is so Mars. Of course you would write a letter to the First Lady.
Yeah.
I love the idea that they take this like legit, like they
Yeah.
are a real family, and the real president just weirdly went after this normal family from Springfield.
Dear Maggie, always to give somebody the benefit of the doubt and not talk badly about them, even if they're rich. It's hard to get them to understand this advice when the very
Marge
first
Simpson
lady
voted for Jimmy Carter
Twice.
Best joke. I love that joke so much.
Man, if we're the dumbest thing you ever saw, Washington must
That's
be
my
a great
favorite
deal
Marge
different
fact.
than what they teach me at the current events group at the church. I always believed in my heart that we had a great deal in common. Each of us living our lives to serve an exceptional man.
That's so
I hope there's some way out of this controversy.
That is Marge.
I thought perhaps it would be a good start to just speak my mind. With great respect, Marge Simpson.
That letter was sent on September 28, 1990. I like having to be historical. And on October 9th, 1990, I mean, quicker than you and I would send a letter back to somebody, the First Lady of the United States sent this reply.
Dear Marge, how kind of you to write.
That's just.
Yeah.
Never mind. I foolishly didn't know you had one.
What's her name?
I'm looking at a picture of
Krabappel?
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know. She
Oh,
sadly
she died!
She died. Crabapple's dead.
Christ, yeah!
Yeah.
Evidently you and your charming
I forgot about that.
Lisa, Homer, Bart,
Aye.
and Maggie are camping out. It is a nice family scene. Clearly you are setting a good example for the rest of the country. Please forgive a loose tongue. Warmly.
I like how Barbara Bush just takes this whole thing as a joke, but
Yes,
clearly George
Homer
Bush.
looks like a handsome fellow.
Yeah, well, if you're the First Lady, you're just up
Yeah.
for a
Everything
good time, I
was
guess.
fine. We had sent our own.
Is Barbara
slightly
still alive, or
letter.
did she die? Or she was
Barbara died. Barbara
Yeah.
died this year also.
Yeah.
He died quite close. I feel like it's a thing that happened.
That is the thing. Well, Stan Lee and that. Yeah.
They both left their 90s.
This is a great tribute we're doing to Bush.
Do you want to know who are both alive though?
Who are both, like, wow me with who's both alive.
Jimmy Carter and his wife.
Really? Yeah, well, they were younger.
They
and
were
some-
younger, but still, like,
How old is Jimmy Carter? Is
in
he
his
90?
90s.
Yeah.
Like, he survived cancer.
Aww.
Like, but he's fine.
He's having a
Like, he
good
just
time.
goes about building houses.
I don't know if he's
Jimmy
still
Car-
building houses.
Jimmy,
I know that's the
actually
joke.
is still- I know, but I feel like he goes along.
He's there to be like, yes, good, the
Like-
timber. Move the timber in.
I feel like he does like a ceremony, like
Oh, aye.
hammering. Like,
Yeah.
I fucking love Jimmy Carter. Like, yeah,
I don't know if I should, because I know literally nothing about him other than what's presented in The
Jimmy Carter
Simpsons.
is great. Jimmy Carter is legit. But no, like, I read this article about him recently. Like, he just stays in the same town. Like, like he's just like.
Well, he is 90.
I know, but like all the kids like just goes like, yeah, hey, Mr. Carter, for president.
That is good.
And they just walk down, like you just walk down the street. It's like, hi, Mr. Carter.
That's a great vibe. Who would go after him, to be fair?
No,
Like,
no.
Tell you something. We are going to keep on trying to strengthen the American family to make American families a lot more like the Waltons and a lot less like the Simpsons.
there it is.
That's fine. I got a cheer, and this guy is
Of
loving it.
course we are. It's like the 90. Like,
So we responded at the very top of our very next episode because they had been prompt with their letter to us and we wanted to be prompt.
We are going to keep on trying to strengthen
Oh,
the
okay.
American
Yeah.
family to make American families a lot more like the Waltons and a lot less like the Simpsons. Huh?
Hey, we're just like the Waltons. We're praying for an end to the Depression, too.
so good.
Our
That's
relationship
incredible.
with the Bushes is going to be more complicated than anybody.
That's
For some
like,
strange
Yeah.
reason, I was invited to a dinner for like 40 or 50 people, at which President
Texas, his favourite son, says a placard there.
Guest of honor.
Also
So
cool.
Oh
I thought
no,
we had
that's,
an
he's got a pro-life
Yeah.
banner. That's
you know, that
silly.
was sort of fun, and that we, in some strange way, I guess we each had given our individual messages out. So they have a receiving line where they had the First Lady and George Bush, and everybody goes to shake hands with them. And she's a beautiful-looking woman, Barb Bush. She's, you know, everybody's mother. She has that image. You can't help but look at her and love her and feel like an American. So I'm feeling fine. I'm
Okay.
walking towards her, and I, you know, I'm nervous and, you know, giggling like I shouldn't be giggling because it was sort of like.
This feels like a Mr. Bean episode.
And she's at the line, and I stop and I say, Mrs. Bush, my name is Jim Brooks. I'm the one involved in The Simpsons thing. Remember we had that exchange? And she gave me a drop-dead, withering cold look. Where, and you know, there's a receiving line where this cold air was just, and we had settled our score with her. Her husband was still mad at us. So it's rough to have people jammed around you as you're snubbed by the First Lady.
That's pretty good. That's like that's all I really know about Bush Senior is those like bits of The Simpsons, and then that entire episode dedicated to him. I find it weird that he died and no one told me. Like, I know I don't need to be notified, but like no one told me. Like there wasn't.
Get
See,
news notifications on your phone. That's
see-
how I find out.
But see, when presidents die, there should be like the AI should take over your phone and be like, breaking news. Like YouTube should have that. You know how like YouTube just like relentlessly notifies you about things.
Yeah.
Nowhere. I didn't see it until like I don't even know where. I saw it in like a weird place and I was like, wait, is Bush dead?
Do you not see it with Jeremy Vine?
I saw it was it on. I was watching Jeremy Vine.
Correct.
Oh, we should talk about Jeremy Vine. Jeremy Vine. His program's a lot less offensive than his radio show, from what I found. It's very standard, and it's very much like a program Partridge is planning and will make. But and the fact that you told me that half of Jeremy Vine's show is like
I
pre-recorded,
believe
so
I've read that because he has to go off to do his BBC.
that, I'm sure they'll integrate that into whatever
So
products
the
Partridge puts
The
out.
second
next.
half of it is pre-recorded. I don't know
It
what-
looks like it. The bit I watched was them just reading the newspapers.
I bet it was that. That seems like a pre-recorded.
Yeah, like it, absolutely, and like they have an audience on the Jeremy Vine show. They have like
How big is the audience?
about 5, 10, 15, 20 people probably.
Right, so it's pretty wee.
It's a wee audience, and it's funny you should mention
So I'm
wee
like,
because
do they get like 200 people every day to like what?
no, they had that thing. It's kind of like that format where you're making a show and there's people off camera and then you say a thing and then the people off camera laugh,
Yeah.
and that's like a hell of thing that they've like mass produced and integrated into shows because it makes things feel more real. They had that on the Jeremy Vine show, and like the audience looked very much like, here's some actual Jeremy Vine fans, and also we went up and rounded out a culturally diverse amount of people, so we just don't look like the most gammon thing in the world.
Which would be understood, which is probably what you would expect given Jeremy.
Jeremy Vine. I would definitely go watch Jeremy Vine be filmed, like, because they had a thing at the end. You can text or go on their website to get tickets to go see Jeremy Vine be recorded.
Oh
I
god.
kind of want to go. We might have to go see Jeremy Vine.
I don't-
It seems quite inoffensive. Like I say, his radio show is the most like Partridge Nightmarian. Like I was listening to Jeremy Vine in a charity shop once, and they had a caller and like a whole topic about is Enoch Powell as racist as he was remembered. And there was like a man who was 78 who phoned in and he was like, I'm 78 and I've been a lifelong member of the Tory party and no, the Enoch Powell controversy has been blown out of all proportion. And Jeremy Vine's being there being like, yeah, he said like rivers of blood and stuff. And you know how like they have to be,
Yeah.
like he's horrible but he's have to be impartial. And he's like, no, blah, 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 this and that. And I kind of slumped into a chair in that charity shop and just kind of went, oh my god. It's like this was like the other month. And it's like 2018, and you're like, your hot topic is like, was Enoch Powell racist? Because the answer is yes.
The worst one you
Like-
told me about is when they had the bit on are there too many phone shops?
Are there too many phone shops? Jeremy Vine was very like, phone shops, and he was like really dramatic about it, and it's like, you see them on all, he was like, you know, those phone shops.
Like,
It was
you
like
know-
very like snippy and like, just like, is it because like, all the people that crew these phone shops aren't outwardly white, Jeremy? Is that what you mean,
Well,
Jeremy?
Dog whistle to his audience.
Yeah. I just...
They hear that and they're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna phone up.
I'm going to phone up about the phone shops, ironically. The show, he's got that guy on it that I feel like was on a lot of... You know how I was talking to you about Talking Head programs, which I for? The guy got me in mind of it because, like, I can't... We should look up who the co-host is. It's not even like a co-host, because, like, Vine's there, being, like, the commander of the show, and then other people are kind of scattered about the set. He had two ladies on who were very much, like, loose women kind of cast-offs. Like, sub-loose women level presenters. And then there was this really weird moment where they, like, threw over to this lady who was sitting on, like, a raised stool, and she was...
Did she do Twitter stuff?
I think she was the kind of Twitter stuff person.
Yeah.
She had, like, a tablet, and she was very much like, you know, what's-her-face from Countdown?
Rachel Riley.
She was very much the kind of Rachel Riley type, but she was Scottish, and she read out a thing and said "we" when she meant. Well, I say when she meant, but she was
God,
small.
yeah.
And then Jeremy Vine didn't like criticize her, but he was like, "We? Do you mean like?" And he was like, just kind of picked her up for saying "we," and she was quite professional about it. She was like, "Yeah, I thought I'd throw 'we' in there, you know, to make it like more appropriate to my accent and that." But and then it just carried on. But like it was so like, oh Vine,
Oh crap.
oh no. We've lost more Lego, is that it? No, that's not it.
I think it's fine. I think I lost it.
I can't trust you with Lego, I don't think. I don't think you should be allowed Lego.
Oh, no, there was a wee bit.
You've got a Lego advent calendar, haven't you?
Oh, that's the thing that came off.
It's really good Lego.
It's really good Lego.
Are you a fan of Lego in general? Do you-
Yes.
Do you sit of an evening, go through the Instagram feed and see what all the hot
I don't know about
Chinese
that,
Lego
but I do want to
leaks?
book like the best Lego sets. I'm a big fan of Lego City.
Lego City does look really hot. What would you get from Lego City if you had?
Like there's like an ice cream truck. Like I like
There is. I don't know if I got you this at one point. Did I get you a dump truck
plane.
at one point, or like? There's a Lego set.
I think you did get me a dump truck. I don't remember.
There's a Lego set where the two guys that come with it are two. I think it's the Big Man set. The two like city workers, right? But they're clearly the two characters from Breaking Bad. Like there's clearly Malcolm's dad and the other man. I've never seen Breaking Bad, but they're clearly Lego versions of those characters. Like unlicensed. We just did this because we could. You should get that set if you don't have it.
Listen, I think I do have that one. I'm sure you bought me that one. That's at home.
There's a lot of Lego that comes out like every second. You know how it's like the biggest toy thing in the world,
Yes.
to the point where like other toy companies just can't compete.
Yes.
I really like off-brand Lego. Have you been to Wilco's in Falkirk?
No.
They've got their own brand of like cheapo Lego,
Yeah.
and they've got a wee bay in the middle of their, because they've got like the toy aisle, right, and behind it they've got their own cheapo Lego aisle, and in the middle they've got a pick and mix thing, but instead of sweets in it, it's Lego bricks, and you get like tubs. Like, so you know how like they've got the big pillars that have got like hundreds of bits of Lego in it
Yes.
that would be sweeties. So you can like pour Lego into a tub.
They have that at the Lego shop.
Aye, but this is off-brand,
Yeah.
terrible Wilco's Lego, and it's all pretty good and it's all pretty cheap, and I would definitely recommend it. And I'm very much not sponsored by Wilco/Wilkies. I can never remember which one it is. But if you want to brand deal us and you're listening, get in touch.
We call it-
We don't have an email, but we could get you in. let us know.
We call it a podcast.
Call it a podcast, aye. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Like,
We'll see
comment.
you again next week. We'll see you on Monday. For the finale.
Oh, if it's a big finale, we'll see you Monday. I don't think I'm working as well, so I can prep for that.
Bye.
Before we bye, I'm going to say like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Follow. We've got an Instagram. It's called A Doctor Who Podcast. Follow us there.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we have a Twitter that I've forgotten about. Like I think I made one.
Yeah, sure.
But aye, we're about.
We're bye.
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 It'll be a wee second.